Hello there, I'm Jonathan Green. I'm the lead instructor at HemanX, which is Heman Media's elite media buyer and copywriting training program. And I am going to be your instructor for the 7-day copywriting challenge. I want to welcome you. I hope you're as excited as I am. And I want to just give you a couple of quick points about the program itself. All right. This is a copywriting program that is designed especially for conversion copywriters, direct response copywriters, and media buyers to improve their skills and enhance their conversion rates. So over the next 7 days, I'm going to show you how to unlock some of the most powerful copywriting techniques that we've ever discovered, as well as how to incorporate artificial intelligence into your workflow so that you can actually be more productive and more prolific and maybe even take on more clients. So if all of that sounds good to you, please get ready to strap in and dig into this content and get started. Now, a word of warning: if you're used to courses and challenges where all you get is a bunch of best practices and step-by-step instructions, do this, do that, follow this template, then you may not like what we're doing here. But our overarching goal and objective is to teach you to think about conversion copywriting and the underlying principles that make it effective so that you no longer need a whole bunch of templates and step-by-step instructions, so that you can effectively enhance your marketing IQ and become a better marketer as well as a better copywriter. So that's what we're going to do here. We think you'll enjoy it. And if you have any questions, you're going to want to go ahead and join our group, Modern Ad Buyers, on Facebook. That's where we're going to be handling Q&A for this course. So buckle up, let's get ready to go. And with no further ado, let's jump into day one. Hey there, because you're a super high achieving marketer and copywriter, you are going to want to go through this course at blazing speed. I'm going to actually go ahead and advise you not to do that. I want you to take it day by day and step by step. I know that you want to accomplish a lot in a short amount of time, but this course really is predicated upon getting the first couple of steps related to research and empathy mapping absolutely correct. And if you shortchange that process, you are not going to have as effective an ad at the end of the process as you would like. And I don't want that to happen. So I want you to take it day by day, do only those assignments which are given you for the day. And if you have more time, I would like for you to revisit the assignment and put some additional thought and effort into those components that you're working on for that day. And I think at the end of the program, you'll find that that will give you the best result. Without a doubt, whenever we're analyzing accounts and trying to figure out what's going wrong with conversion rates, the number one thing that we determine it to be the problem is people shortchanging the process. So again, I would love for you to just take this day by day and put all your intent and focus and effort into that day's activities. And if you do that, at the end of 7 days, you will have some very, very effective ads. So here's hoping that you're going to have a lot of success and, really work on your patience in this process. All right. Cheers. All right, so I know everybody's raring to go and super excited to get started, but before we jump in, we're going to need to cover just a couple of quick house cleaning items. First things first, this is a copywriting course featuring artificial intelligence or incorporating artificial intelligence into your workflow. And for that reason, you're going to need access to artificial intelligence. So you're going to need to go seek out the link for ChatGPT listed below. And if you don't already have an account, you're going to need to make yourself an account. Now, you will find throughout the course of the videos that I have the paid version of ChatGPT. That's only because I'm a power user and because I want my workflows prioritized, so I never have to wait for access to the program. It will perform all the functions that you need done, even with the free version. AI is mostly about how you prompt it. So the free version will serve you just fine. You do not need the paid version. Beyond that, if you want to ask questions and get answers about this course or the material in it, you're going to need to join our group that's linked below. It's called Modern Ad Buyers, and it's supported by Heman Media, by our media buyers and our staff and myself personally. So that's going to be the only acceptable format for question and answer about this program. So don't bother DMing us on Facebook or Instagram. You're not going to get an answer that way. You need to join the group if you want to ask questions about this program. All right. So that's just a couple of quick house cleaning items. Do that, and we're going to be ready to get started. We'll see you tomorrow. Hello, and welcome to the 7-day copy challenge featuring ChatGPT. I wanted to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Jonathan. I'm the lead instructor at HemanX, and I'm going to be guiding you through the process of arriving at your perfect ads. We're super excited to have you. and we want to get cracking. Now, day one is all about competitive and product research. Why is that? Because everything that we do going forward is going to build upon our level of knowledge of our customer avatar. And if we haven't properly researched our customer avatar, it's going to be near on impossible, or at least very difficult, for us to arrive at copy that's really going to move them to take conversion action. And for that reason, Human Media as a business and Human X as a training program focuses upon this as a core must-have for every media buyer who wants to be successful. You got to start with good research. Now, in the past, we would have done that by using a lot of websites, a lot of Googling, stalking competitors and ideal customers across social media, learning about them through the comments that they leave on products and the reviews that we see, all of which is great stuff to do, and you may still do that. But we're going to use ChatGPT today to see if we can't cut through some of that. Now, some of you, it's going to work great. Some of you, it's not going to work as good. So you still need to be able to do that backup research the old-fashioned way by just plugging away at Google and figuring things out. But if you prompt ChatGPT correctly, it's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And I think this is actually one of the best and highest uses for the AI for professional marketers. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll see if I can't use what I'm doing here as an example. Now, first things first, I want to get through this avatar research. So I'm going to prompt the ChatGPT to see if it can't give me some good information. I have a product that teaches media buyers how to write copy more effectively. Please give me the demographics, psychographics, and pain points of the ideal future customer, including age range, job titles, and what else do we want? We want age range, we want job titles, common interests. Boom. A good prompt will usually get you a good result. And sometimes we may have to wait for that, especially with a really dense prompt. But for the most part, it's going to work out great for us. So watch this. There we go. It was just hung up for a second. All right, so let's see what we got here. Sure, here's what I can gather about your ideal customer based on the product you're offering. Demographics, age range, 25 to 55. Pretty accurate. Job titles, media buyers, advertising executives, marketing managers, copywriters, content creators. Locations, it's going to tell me predominantly in urban areas. I agree. Psychographics, detail-oriented, creative-driven individuals. Okay, I love it. Values, professionalism, career advancement, interests, marketing, advertising. All of this seems right on. Pain points. This is super gold right here. So if you have trouble when you begin your empathy mapping process tomorrow, we'll come back to ChatGPT and generate some of these prompts, or day after tomorrow rather. But pain points: difficulty in crafting effective and persuasive copy, lack of confidence in writing skills, difficulty standing out in a highly competitive industry, need for continued professional development. All right, this is all really great information. This would save me a lot of time. So let me see if I can now get ChatGPT to condense the above information into a customer avatar. All right. Nice. So it's going to give me a very well thought out, detail-oriented avatar, which is great. At this point, if I were you, I would start making copious notes of everything that's being spit out here, because these are the things that we're actually going to use to prompt and create our ads later on. These pain points, these pieces of information, about this avatar. We need to be able to deeply empathize with it. And in order to understand it, we first have to know it. So that's what we're doing here today. So this is really cool. Now, for day one, our ultimate objective is that we want to understand the level of sophistication of our target market and our product, okay? Now, we're going to have to prompt ChatGPT to get that. And in order to do that, I suggest you use a prompt sort of like the one that I'm using here, okay? So I'm going to say, according to Eugene Schwartz, what is the level of sophistication for the market surrounding this customer avatar and product? Great. So it's going to give us the level of awareness, and it's going to give us the characteristics of that level of awareness, and that is fantastic. So let's see what it's saying here. Sarah is aware that she has a problem writing copy effectively, but she doesn't know that there are specific solutions available. Sarah is starting to actively search for solutions and is open to considering new products and services that could help her improve her writing skills. Sarah is looking for information and guidance on how to overcome her challenges. All right, at this level of sophistication, the market is still in the early stages of seeking out solutions and is highly responsive to educational marketing that highlights the benefits of your product. You can appeal to Sarah's desire to improve her skills and overcome her pain points by emphasizing the practical hands-on learning experience that your product provides. So it tells us about the level of sophistication, and it also tells us exactly how to market to Sarah. This is highly, highly valuable information. But if you want more information on levels of sophistication so you can tweak your understanding, just give it a Google. Levels of sophistication by Schwartz. And there will be copious articles. You can see them here. So we got 5 levels of market sophistication explained. And that's going to be pretty valuable. So let's just run through that real quick. The pioneer level of market sophistication means quite simply that your product or service is completely new and the market has never heard of anything like it. This is not going to be most of you. Most of you are not creating something that's never been heard of before, okay? Level 2 is outdoing the competition. There are competitors, but you can overcome them. Level 3, showing customers how it works, because there's so much competition that you have to begin to differentiate. Level 4 is the Cold War. I love that. Because the competitors are locked in a fierce battle to capture the hearts and minds. That's great stuff. And level 5 is the storytelling phase. So you're going to want to run through these and understand where your product or service falls on the spectrum of the 5 levels of marketing sophistication according to Schwartz. And that really is today's assignment. So once you've done your research and your avatar work and you've figured out your level of sophistication, you can go ahead and stop for the day and just marinate on that. And we will come back tomorrow and we'll discuss following on with more customer research and levels of awareness, where we'll dive deeply into how aware our customer is about the product or service that we're offering and what that means in terms of messaging. So we'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a great day. All right, welcome back to day 2 of the 7-day copy challenge featuring ChatGPT. Yesterday, our homework assignment was to figure out the level of sophistication for our product and the market that it's in. Hopefully you now know whether you have a super crowded market and you're going to have to differentiate, or whether you have something brand new that nobody's ever seen, or exactly where on that spectrum you fall. That was yesterday's assignment. If you haven't done that, go ahead and stop viewing this video right now and go ahead and complete that, because as I mentioned, everything is going to build upon itself as we move through this and get to our perfect copy that's going to convert like bananas. So what we got to do today is take that information from yesterday and parlay that into level of awareness, because there are 2 key components. Level of sophistication by Schwartz. All of this is in Breakthrough Advertising, by the way. It's a book by Eugene Schwartz. We lever it very heavily in our training programs and in our agency. So Schwartz teaches levels of sophistication, which tells you how the market is situated. and how the market behaves around your product or service. And then we need level of awareness, which teaches us about your ideal future customer and their mentality and where they are at on the journey to becoming a paying customer. So today we're going to dive into awareness, and we touched on it yesterday, or rather ChatGPT touched on it yesterday. So what we're going to do is go ahead back into the same chat that we were in yesterday so that it has context for what I'm asking. And we're going to go down here and we're just going to write another prompt and say, based upon Schwartz's levels of awareness, how aware is the ideal future customer? Or now let's ask that differently. What level of awareness does the ideal future customer present? Let's see if that'll give us the answer we're looking for. Yes, okay, great. So it's going to tell us that based on Schwartz's 5 levels of market awareness, the ideal future customer for your product, Sarah, the avatar that it gave us, presents at the 2nd level of awareness, which is problem aware. At this level, Sarah is aware that she has a problem and with writing copy effectively, but she doesn't yet know that there are specific solutions available to help her with this issue. She's starting to actively search for solutions and is open to considering new products and services that can help her improve her writing skills. Going down to the next paragraph, markets at the 2nd level of awareness are highly responsive to educational marketing that highlights the benefits and provides information on how it can help them. So not only does it tell us where our avatar is in the process of becoming a paying customer, but it tells us exactly how to reach her. So again, you're going to have to, if you didn't do the prompts right up here and you don't have this background information, it's going to be increasingly difficult for you to get the level of awareness out of it. So you may have to go back and try again if your stuff's not looking like mine. I would use prompts that are very close or identical to the ones that I'm using, because again, AI is a very effective tool, but it's not actually smart. Garbage in, garbage out. If you give it a crappy prompt, it's going to give you a crappy response. So we want to use good prompts. We want to mention Eugene Schwartz and his 5 levels of marketing awareness in our prompts so that we get the information that we're looking for here. So this is important because it tells us a lot. So if our ideal future customer is starting to actively search for solutions and is open to considering new products, then we know that we don't have to tell her why we're different or better than our competition. We don't need a differentiation narrative. We need an education narrative, because she's aware that she has a problem, but she's not aware that a solution exists. Whereas if she was solution aware, she would know all the different products and services that are available in the market that can solve her problem. Ergo, we would need to communicate how we're different or better than any other provider or doing nothing at all. So this information is very important, and it's very important that you arrive at it. And again, we want to go ahead and go look at some additional information. Just Google it up. Schwartz 5 levels of awareness. Okay, and there's going to be copious articles written about this if you want more background information. And I would highly suggest that you not just trust ChatGPT, because sometimes it is wrong. But go ahead and pull up this article and give it a read. Are they completely unaware? Are they problem aware? Are they solution aware, product aware, or most aware? Where is your ideal future customer on this spectrum? And what does that mean? It's going to also give you some insights on how to reach those people based on where they're at on the spectrum. So it's a very, very important, one of the foundational benchmarks that we need to have before we can move forward to creating really amazing copy, is understanding exactly where our ideal customer is on the spectrum of levels of awareness. So that's today's assignment. If you have any questions about it, do pop in and ask. But I think you'll find that it's pretty straightforward if you prompt the chat bot, and if you will just read a little bit and Google the concept, you'll find that this is not over your head. So we'll talk to you tomorrow when we're going to get together. We're going to put this information to work, empathy mapping and creating the hooks that are ultimately going to lead us to our perfect copy. So we'll see you then. Welcome back to day 3 of the 7-day copy challenge assisted by ChatGPT. So after yesterday, what you should have at the conclusion of yesterday's homework, you should have a well-defined customer avatar. And we used ChatGPT to get that. So if you recall yesterday, we were prompting and we were figuring out our customer avatar. And ultimately, we were figuring out the level of awareness of that ideal future customer. And we were figuring out the level of sophistication of the market surrounding our product. So we should have an avatar. It should have demographics, psychographics, age, all those interesting bits of information, interests, affiliations, etc. And we should have a good knowledge of our level of awareness and level of sophistication at this point. What we're going to do today is we're going to use that information in what we call the empathy mapping process. So this is an empathy mapping document. Empathy is a marketing superpower, and if you get it right and you're able to effectively put yourself in the shoes of your ideal future customer, you will never ever struggle to write effective copy. And this is clearly, obviously, the most important step of this entire process. And if you skip over it later down the road, you're going to send me nasty emails talking about how your copy didn't improve. And I promise you, I'm going to be able to take one look at your empathy map and tell why that is happening. If you shortchange this step, you just will not have what you need in order to write super effective copy. So what we're going to do today is we are going to ideate on the empathy map. So what I want you to do is I want you to go get your team. I want you to get them involved. I want you to do an exhaustive brain dump on the empathy map. Start by defining these demographic, psychographic pieces of information so everybody understands who the ideal future customer is. And then I want you to put on your thinking cap. So I've given you an example here. The idea is, what is that ideal future customer thinking, seeing, saying, and hearing? Now, they might be thinking, seeing, saying, and hearing a lot of things, and feeling, by the way. We got feeling down here, don't forget that. They might be experiencing a lot of things, but we're only interested in the things that are relevant to what our product or service can solve for. So, you know, they may be thinking, boy, I've got a headache today, but that isn't really relevant to what we're talking about. So we're looking for insights, pain points, points of friction where that ideal future customer is going to be susceptible to becoming a purchaser of our product or service. So, for example, for Human Media's business, I started to do, just make an example here that you can follow throughout the document. One thing that a future customer for Human Media might be thinking is, I can't grow my business no matter what I do. That's a really frustrating place to be. There's a lot of obvious pain and angst in that statement. If I were also going to go ahead and say, what are they seeing? They might be seeing their CPMs rise. They might be seeing CPAs increase, etc. What might they be hearing? Their friends might be saying things like, you should get an agency, or, you know, you're an expert at blank and not marketing, right? They might be getting advice that they should just hire a professional. What are they saying? I sure do wish I could think about something other than marketing. Example, example, example. You get the point. So the idea is to list out absolutely as many of these things as we can come up with that are pain points that our product or service can influence or solve for. You should have a pretty exhaustive list by the time you're done. I'm just giving you brief examples here. So the so what about this is that tomorrow we're going to go to this other tab and we're going to take, you know, the top 5 or 6 pain points that we see here that really move us. We're going to move them into the hook discovery, and we're going to begin to rate them according to their appeal, exclusivity, clarity, motivation, etc., according to this key over here. And when we're done, the total scores of how each one of them rated are going to tell us which hooks we should use when we go to market to create good ad copy that's going to convert. And it all has to do with pain alignment to prospects. So obviously that process will only work as well as whatever you put in the empathy map. So I want you to take this very, very seriously. You know, make a copy of this document and really, really work on this, because this is going to be the source from which all of your amazing expert level copy flows going forward. All right. So for some people, this is hard. Empathy is a hard thing. I would hope if you're a professional marketer that you would work on it, because it's probably the most important thing to professional marketers, is the ability to empathize. However, if you're having trouble with it, let's go back to ChatGPT. So what I did here is after we had our avatar filled out and figured out, including our level of awareness and our level of sophistication, I went ahead and prompted the chat again, and I said, what are some painful things that the above avatar might be seeing, saying, hearing, and thinking? Please list 20 different things. And of course, ChatGPT jumped in. And as you recall, this avatar that we were working on was of a lady who's a junior media buyer who didn't have confidence in her copywriting skills. Ergo, I'm using my course, the 7-Day Challenge here, as the subject matter. But as you can see, it very easily listed out 20 things that were pains that she's experiencing. And you can take them and plug them into the empathy map if you're having problems. And your ability to prompt ChatGPT will generate a huge long list of things, which some are going to be great, some not so much. But if you're running out of ideas or you're having trouble ideating, do use ChatGPT to assist you. It is more than capable of listing out things that would be actual fears for that prospect. Okay, so that's what I've done here. And that's your homework for today. What we want to accomplish for today is we want to have a well filled out empathy map template with lots and lots of thoughts, things they might be seeing, saying, hearing, and feeling. And we want all of those things, or as many of them as possible, to be something that can be affected by our product or service. So once you're done with that for today, you can stop, and tomorrow we'll get started with the process of turning those into ads. All right, so I hope that's been helpful. Get started on it. Let us know if you have any questions. Hello and welcome back. This is day 4 of the 7-Day Challenge. And what we're going to do today is what we like to call hook discovery. And we're going to use the empathy map that we generated yesterday. So I'm going to use this line right here as an example to show you what to do. All right, so we're going to take, when you make an exhaustive list of things that your ideal future customer might be thinking, seeing, saying, hearing, and feeling, there are going to be 5 or 6 things that jump off the page to you that are obviously the strongest pain points. We want to take those 5 or 6 pain points and we want to copy them over into this new tab, Hook Discovery Angles. And that's what I've done here. I've copied in my example from the first page. Come on, work with me here. There we go. So my example was, we're talking about the Human X business as an example. I can't grow my business no matter what I do. It's a frustration that lots and lots of entrepreneurs have, and it's a very painful, visceral frustration. So I thought that was a great pain prompt, and so I'm going to move it over into the Hook Discovery tab. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rate it according to, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. And I've got a key over here for you to use, okay? And so you can see that 5 is like they're desperate to have it. 1 is that they don't want it at all. 2 is they're sort of indifferent. You get the idea, right? So the question or the example, I can't seem to grow my business no matter what I do. To solve that problem, how appealing would it be? How much do they want to solve this problem? I would suggest that most business owners are either highly sought after or desperate. In my future ideal customer, they're probably desperate to solve that problem. So I'm rating that a 5. Exclusivity, where else can I get this? Well, a handful of people probably have an actual solution to this problem. Almost nobody has one that's as unique as Human X. So I chose to select a handful have and rate that a 4. All right, clarity, how much do I understand this? The consumer, in this case, is going to really understand the implications of growing their business. It's not complicated for them, they get it. Motivation, as I continue to slide to the right. All right, how much do they get it? They get this on a physiological level. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It has to do with career and advancement and security, which is a very base level concern. That's what I've got broken down here is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So how much are they going to get this? Well, this falls into the physiological safety, security kind of, realm. So it's either going to be a 4 or a 5 to me. I said 5. So that gave that a total of 19. Now I might have 4 or 5 other hooks here. I'm going to rate them all accordingly. And I'm going to go through this process and I'm going to determine what their total score is. And at the end of this process, I'll have 5, 6, 7 hooks here, or 5, 6, 7 pain prompts. Okay, and I'm going to have a rating. And whichever 2 or 3 have the highest ratings, those are going to be the hooks that I'm going to take into the market and turn into ads. So this step is obviously very important, that we get the ratings done correctly. And I've given you a key. It fits the majority of situations. There are some situations it isn't going to fit. So you just have to try to figure out on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the strongest, 1 being the weakest, how appealing is it? How exclusive is it? How clear is it? And how motivated will the ideal future customer be because of it? So if the key doesn't fit exactly, please understand that we have a lot of industries and a lot of people in different types of businesses that we use this with. And so this is just a generic helper. But ultimately, you're using a 5-point Likert scale, rating it 5 being amazing, 1 being terrible, okay? So that's your homework for today, is to get at least 5 hooks into this tab and rate them according to appeal, exclusivity, clarity, and motivation, so that you have a total score. And you can tell me which 2 or 3 hooks are probably the most powerful pain-oriented hooks that you can take into the market and use to create ads. That's what I want for you to have done today. All right, so let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, get cracking, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Welcome back to day 5 of the 7-day copy challenge assisted by ChatGPT. And today what we're going to do is we're going to start creating hooks out of the pain prompts that we developed yesterday. So here I am on the hook discovery tab that we talked about yesterday. You should have 5 to 7 good pain prompts here, rated properly and with a total score. And you should be able to tell me which 2 or 3 of those are the most powerful, have the highest total score. What we're going to do today is we're going to take those 2 or 3 pain prompts and we're going to move them over to the 3rd tab, the hook generator. All right, so that's what I've done here, and you can see I've got my example in still. No matter what I do, I can't grow my business. That's the pain prompt. I've called it sentiment. I think I might change it to pain prompt. Okay, just so you get the idea. Pain prompt / sentiment. Just so it's very clear what we're doing here, all right? But these are the pain prompts that we developed here on the 2nd tab, all right? So we're moving them today into the 3rd tab. I've done so. These are going to be blank, obviously, but I've given you, these are types of ads that typically work. So pain alignment, obvious yes question, desired future state, first person direct, and an if-then statement. If you can use as many different types of ads as you know of, you might add a story ad, you might do all sorts of things. You can add as many columns here as you like, but these are just the 4 that most often work. So these are the 4 that I've given you, but please feel free to modify this and extend it and expand it with any ad types that you favor, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pain prompt from yesterday and I'm going to reconfigure it according to these ad types that I've outlined here, and I'm going to create the hooks for each ad. So this is going to be the first line of each ad that we're going to create later on in the day, all right, or later on in the series. So for instance, this is my example pain prompt. No matter what I do, I can't grow my business. You recall we rated that yesterday and we found it to be a very strong rating at a 19. So I moved it over to the hook generator. And now here's my root pain prompt sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and change it to be a pain alignment obvious yes question. So are you tired of feeling like no matter what you do, you can't grow your business? Question mark. That's an obvious yes question. If I'm talking to the right consumer, they should be nodding their heads going, yes, Jonathan, I am tired of feeling like no matter what I do, I can't grow my business. Because that's directly related to the pain prompt that we developed all the way from the empathy map. So there's extreme continuity to this process. It all starts with the empathy map. And now here we are at the point of generating hooks that we're going to use to create our ads. So I'm just changing this sentiment slightly. I'm making it an obvious yes question. Are you tired of feeling like no matter what you do, you can't grow your business? Great. So now I'm going to go to the next column and I'm going to create a desired future state narrative. How would you like to be, or how would you like to know the exact next steps to take in order to get your business over the hump and finally make the money you deserve? Finally make the money you deserve is a desired future state. So this is a desired future state narrative. You'll notice that I also use the obvious yes question in this format. I would use the obvious yes question as much as possible because it's been proven over thousands of experiments that if we can get consumers to say micro yeses in their head, they're more likely to convert at the end of the ad. All right. So this is all I'm doing is getting them to shake their head and go yes. But in this point, rather than using a pain alignment, are you tired of feeling like no matter what you do, you can't grow your business? That's a very painful sentiment. It invokes pain. In this instance, I'm trying to do the opposite and invoke the desired future outcome, which is finally able to make the money you deserve. All right. So all I've done is taken this sentiment and rewritten it in two different ways. Now I'm going to do it in first person direct. Okay. What do I have to do to finally grow my business and make what I deserve? Okay. Very visceral first person direct, spoken from the first person, that is from the avatar. All right. And finally, I'm going to reconfigure that sentiment into an if then statement. If you're wondering what on earth you have to do to grow your business and make the money you deserve, then you've stumbled upon the right ad. Get it? If then. It's like programming logic almost. If this is the problem that you're having, then this is what is going to fix it. All right. You've stumbled upon the right ad. So if I've got the right consumer, they should be paying attention now. Okay. So those are, again, you can add more columns and add a story ad, indirect ads, whatever it is that you want to do, you can expand this. But if you'll list out your 5 to 7 pain points here, or at least the top 2 or 3 according to their rankings, and you'll do each of these 4 ad types, you'll have 15 to 20 different ad variations that you can go to market with already. And you don't even have to think about it. You already have 12 to 15 to 20 things that you can test right away. And they're going to be very good sentiments, and they're going to be very powerful because we've derived them from powerful pain statements. All right. So the homework for today is for you to fill out this third tab and make sure you get your top 2 or 3 pain prompts / sentiments into this document and rewrite them as pain alignment, obvious yes questions, desired future states, first person direct, and if then statements, and anything else that you can think of that you may want to add to this sheet. So that's the homework for today. Let us know if you have any problems with it. It's fairly straightforward. And then tomorrow we're going to get Lee in here, and he is going to talk about how to begin to turn these into full-fledged ads. All right, cheers. Talk soon. Hey there, and it's time to go ahead and create some ads out of our hooks. And I want you to definitely follow Lee's instructions and use the templates that he's providing you. But in a pinch, we can also do this with ChatGPT by seeding a hook and asking it to complete the ad. So I'm going to do that. All right. And as you can see, it's going to spit out a Facebook ad for me today. Now, this may not be the most enlightened ad in the history of the world, but it will be functional, generally speaking. So let's see what we've got here. Attention junior media buyers in Los Angeles. All right. Well, it gave me a hyper local ad, but I can always take that out if I want to. Are you tired of wasting your time writing copy that doesn't convert? Are you feeling overwhelmed with high expectations from a client and pressure to produce top quality work? It's time to take control of your writing skills and elevate your career to the next level. Introducing our comprehensive media buying course designed to teach you how to write copy that effectively communicates your client's messages, engages your target audience, and converts lead into sales. Say goodbye to subpar writing and hello to confident, impactful copywriting. Wow, I got to be honest with you, this is pretty good. With practical hands-on lessons and expert guidance, you'll learn how to write copy that stands out in a highly competitive industry and captures the attention of your target audience. Say goodbye to frustration and hello to a brighter future in media buying. Enroll now, even has a good solid CTA. Enroll now and take the first steps toward a more fulfilling and successful career. Don't waste another moment writing copy that doesn't convert. Sign up today. Good. Look, there's a lot that can be done to improve this. That's a whole other course that we have on our conversion heuristic and how to use it to improve an ad that you already have. But honest to goodness, this is better than 90% of what most of you were writing when you came into the course. And this will convert. I guarantee it will convert. It may or may not convert at the optimal level, but it will work. So this is a good starting point. And I definitely want you to follow Lee's patterns and templates and prompts. He's an expert at this. But in a pinch, you can just plug your hooks directly into ChatGPT and prompt it for an ad. And I would mention the platform that you're writing for, etc., or any restrictions, number of characters, whatever it may be. But ChatGPT will spit out a pretty good, pretty compelling ad for you. And this is, again, just built on the same thread that we've been working on since the challenge began. So you always have this tool in your tool bag if you need to come up with something quickly on the fly and you don't have the time to go through the entire process. So I wanted to show this to you guys. All right, cheers. Have a good day. Hello and welcome back to day 6 of the 7-day copywriting challenge featuring ChatGPT. Now, some of you have already watched part 1 of this, and you will have created your ads using ChatGPT. And if you've done so, then you're probably ready to go to market and test that. However, you may or may not be super impressed with the quality of the ad, in which case you can requery and add additional information, or you can use some of the tactics below that I'm going to show you to go ahead and improve that ad. So let's focus on that first. Let me scroll down here. These are the components that exist inside of our conversion marketing heuristic that we've developed here at Human Media. They are individual components which contribute to the underlying principles of consumer psychology and conversion science that result and higher conversion rates. We've spent hundreds of millions of dollars testing this construct and these principles, and I can guarantee you that they do work if applied properly. So what you can do with the ads that you generated via ChatGPT is take a look at the ad and then adjust it for some of these principles. For example, one way to enhance conversion is to have the value, perceived value, be higher than the perceived cost. And so we want to adjust for both value and cost. So one way I might do that is by adding appeal into the ad, which is always the answer to the question, how much do I want this? Anything you can say in your ad that's going to make the consumer want it more will contribute to appeal. Exclusivity, where else can I get this? So in other words, how do you make your business sound more exclusive than your competitors? You can talk about your results. You can talk about your limited clientele. You can talk about how many 5-star reviews you have. Anything that says I'm different or better goes in the exclusivity category. Clarity is a major heavy lift that we all need to be trying to improve in every single one of our ads. A lot of people try to be clever at the expense of being clear, and it never really works out. So any information you can give about the product or service, which makes the prospect understand it better, is going to result in enhanced conversion outcomes. All right. And finally, incentive. What else is in it for me? And all of these are from the perspective of the future customer. So in other words, get 50% off if you buy now, 25% off your first purchase, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those are all contexts and ways in which we can enhance value. So if you don't love the ad that ChatGPT spit out, go through this and use it like a checklist and think about what you might add to that advertisement that's going to achieve these ends. The next thing that we can do is mitigate cost, perceived cost, right? So one way is to enhance value. The other way is to mitigate cost. So we can deal with mental cost. How difficult is this going to be? You can talk about how quick and easy your process is, how you have a one-step checkout, how it's only going to take 10 minutes of your time, or how your simple, patented, repeatable process has revolutionized the industry, and you can do it too. So anything you can do to reduce the mental cost will enhance conversion outcomes. Fiscal costs, same thing. Discounts, talking about how cheap it is, talking about how expensive your competitors are, talking about how much you get for the money. All of those things will reduce perceived fiscal costs. And then time cost, how long, complicated is this going to be? So again, our simple process, right, or our 3-step process, or if you'll give me 5 minutes, I'll give you X, right? All of these are tropes and tactics that are designed to enhance or mitigate time costs, right? And then finally, acceptability, credibility. How much do I believe you? Again, you can talk about your 500 5-star reviews. You can talk about your famous clients. You can talk about your results, your outcomes. You can talk about how you were mentioned in Forbes magazine, or how you were featured on, Fast Times or whatever. Anything that adds credibility to the brand will enhance your conversion outcomes. Affinity is essentially just how much do I like you? Cracking jokes, having a good humor, creating us versus them type situations where it's me and the prospect versus the world, right? All of these are tactics that will enhance affinity. And finally, disruption. Can you say something wild? Can you come out of right field? Can you use a really bright, disruptive image? These are all things you can do to enhance disruption. All of these tactics are going to enhance the quality of your ads. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my face to the right here, and I'm going to say pick any 3, okay, and use them as a combination in your ad. So for instance, I might pick appeal, exclusivity, and fiscal cost reduction. And those will be the 3 tactics I'm going to put into my ad. And that ad may or may not convert. So the next ad, I'm going to choose 3 different tactics until I find the right combination of tactics, which is going to result in that super, high performing ad, which is going to revolutionize my business. So that is the process. You're going to ask me for a template. I don't really have one. What I've done down below is I've created a cheat sheet essentially, and I'm going to show you exactly how I would use that right now. So again, if you have an ad from ChatGPT that you like, then maybe you can skip this and just tweak it a little bit using these factors. But if you're starting from scratch and you want to build an ad, here's how I'm going to suggest that you do it. First thing we're going to do is go back to our empathy map. All right. We're going to go ahead and go to our hook generation tab where we took our pain prompts and turned them into hooks. And I'm going to grab whichever hook I would like to use in my ad. So in this case, it's going to be, are you tired of feeling like no matter what you do, you can't grow your business? Yes, I am tired of that. I'm going to paste that into the hook section. All right, let me wrap these. All right, cool. Well, shoot. All right, good. So are you tired of feeling no matter what you do, you can't grow your business? Yes, I am. Now I'm going to select my 3 tropes or value components that I'm going to use. Okay. Exclusivity, I'm going to use here. Let's make a note, exclusivity. And then I'm going to try for clarity. And then I'm going to do time cost. All right. All right. So this is how I would then build that ad. I'm going to go ahead and find an exclusivity narrative that I want to use, or a tactic. How can I make my brand seem more exclusive? All right. And it has to tie in with what we've done here in the hook. So are you tired of feeling like no matter what you do, you can't grow your business? Let's talk about exclusivity. We've created the world's first training program for entrepreneurs. To learn how to grow and scale their business using paid traffic. Now, is it really the world's first? Not by a long shot. But I'm just giving you an example of what an exclusivity narrative would look like. World's first, world's best. Okay. Why is your program different or better, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm adjusting for exclusivity there. Now I want to be clarity. I want to give them details, because people can't convert on something that they don't understand. And this is probably the biggest lever in all of conversion marketing, is just being clear about what it is that you're offering. So we're doing a free 7-day challenge designed to help you create a marketing strategy that you can execute to grow your business and finally get back to doing your main job. Because, you know, a lot of times people feel like marketing becomes their main job and they're an expert at something other than marketing. So again, I'm just building an ad from scratch. Maybe it'll end up working really great. Maybe it won't. The beauty of this is I can go back to the drawing board. You know, we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 possible, you know, picking 3 of those. There's at least 30 combinations. There's a bunch of combinations of this that you can do. And you're never going to really run out of ads. So again, I'm starting from the hook that I generated. I'm creating exclusivity. I'm creating clarity. Now I want to mitigate time cost. Okay. In less than 20 minutes a day, you can finally get the revenue you deserve. See what I've done there? I've just mitigated the time cost. They were thinking to themselves, yeah, but I don't really have 7 days for this. And I'm saying, oh no, it's only 20 minutes a day for 7 days, right? The next 7 days can change your business forever. All right, great. And then finally, my call to action. If this interests you, click below to reserve your spot. It's absolutely free, but we will run out of spots. So hurry and don't delay. Click below to get started. All right, good. Now, let's read this ad and see how it goes. Are you tired of feeling like no matter what you do, you can't grow your business? We've created the world's first training program for entrepreneurs to learn how to grow their business. I might just qualify there. If that's you, you're in the right place. Okay, just to re-verify that they're in the right spot. So, are you tired of feeling like no matter what you do, you can't grow your business? If that's you, you're in the right place. We created the world's first training program for entrepreneurs to learn how to grow and scale their business using paid traffic. We're doing a free 7-day challenge designed to help you create a marketing strategy that you can execute to grow your business and finally get back to doing your main job. In less than 20 minutes a day, you can finally get the revenue you deserve. The next 7 days could change your business forever. If this interests you, click below to reserve your spot. It's absolutely free, but we will run out of spots, so hurry and don't delay. Click below to get started. All right, so as you can see, I've used this system to just go ahead and build a very simple ad using the components of value. I can choose any components that I like and inject them in there. I'm going to suggest that you pick any 3 and work on 3 at a time, and then mix and match until you find the most effective octane, high-powered ad for your business and your product and your targeting groups that you're targeting. Okay, but these options are available to you, and you can combine them with the hooks that we've spent so much time generating. And as you can see, with very little effort, I can create super powerful, well-written ads, and I can create a lot of them. So I can test my way to success, which is going to be what we're going to cover in lesson 7. Now, as a bonus, at the top of this sheet, I've gone ahead and I've created a little matrix. So over here on the left side, we've got the levels of sophistication that we've gone through the process of figuring out. And up here, we've got the levels of awareness. And if you, for instance, have a solution-aware consumer and you're in a level 2 market where there's competition, then you can just go here and you can get an idea of what I think is the most effective way to go to market. So write an ad that agitates the pain and then go deep on clarity. Make sure to explain exactly how your product deals with their pain or anxiety. So you can use this matrix just to get an idea. If you are one of those people who stare at the blank page and can't figure out how to get started, this is how to get started. Now, is this what you should always do? Is this completely exhaustive? No, it is not. So please don't email me talking about, what if I want to do this instead? If you want to do it, test it, learn if it works or not. These are just ideas for for people who have trouble staring at the blank page. I wouldn't want you to suffer from that ill. So I went ahead and created this little graph chart for you to help you out. Okay. It is not exhaustive. This is just one man's opinion. There's lots of ways to do this. All right. But this will help you if you don't know where else to start. And then these are your value and cost and acceptability components. And this is your little worksheet down here for just figuring it out and putting it together. And you can copy this document and just create all your ads right here. It'll be super easy for you. So hopefully you find that useful and helpful if you want to do your ads from scratch. Otherwise, you should be able to use ChatGPT to spit out ads that are pretty good, that are 80% of the way home. So, and then just use these components to improve it until you're happy with it. So that's it. That's all you need to do. Get started creating some ads and show us what you come up with in the group. We'd love to see it. All right, welcome back. It's day 7. This is the last day of our copy challenge, and I am super excited for you because if you've done all of the homework between the beginning of this challenge and now, you should be sitting on a pile of really, really good ads that are derived from paying alignment to prospect, have utilized the research, the avatar building, and the empathy mapping process. And friend, they're going to work great for you. Now, let's talk about how we're going to implement that for a minute. Now, the best media buyers in the world only bat 500 on launching ads. Half the time they work, half the time they don't. Anybody who tells you otherwise is a fool. So what we need is a rigorous quasi-scientific process for determining which ad best aligns with which targeting. And that's what I'm going to show you here today. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up a conversion campaign. These are conversion campaigns, all right? Whatever your objective is, whether that be sales, whether it be leads, if you get enough apps, use apps, whatever. But you need to be able to try to get to approximately 50 conversions per week per ad set. If you can't, then you need to move up higher and use. So for instance, if your business operates on applications, if you're a lead gen business, but you're not getting 50 applications per week, then you need to move up and optimize for leads instead so that you're getting enough signal for the algorithm to help optimize, all right? But after that, we're using conversion campaigns, okay? So you're gonna have one campaign, multiple ad groups, multiple ads within each ad group. So split testing campaign, that's what I want you to set up, a conversion campaign. Now for your ad sets, you're going to use interest groups. I want you to group together like things. So I'm not telling you to put all of your interests in one group, no. I'm not telling you to put all of your lookalike audiences in one group. Absolutely not. I'm telling you create groups of targeting that are so like that they would reasonably have the same ideal ad. Because what we're trying to do here is get the ideal ad for each targeting group. And then that will enable us to have some scalability. All right. So for instance, just so I can make this clear, let's say I have a bunch of interests that were successful. Let's say I'm doing this for Heman-X. All right. So first ad set that I'm going to do is probably going to be publications. That's a bunch of interests that are grouped together that are like things. All right. So publications that might work would be Ad Age, the Harvard Business Review, Fast Times, et cetera, et cetera. Things that entrepreneurs in my niche are reading. The second interest group might be influencers. All right. And we're talking about people like Ashton Shanks. We're talking about Marie Forleo, Amy Porterfield, Fabienne Fredrickson. We're talking about Tim Ferriss. We're talking about Robert Kiyosaki. People who are influencers in the space that my ideal future customer like to pay attention to. That would be an example of another group of interest that I would group together. And then finally, I might do lookalikes in a group together. So as you can see, you can have 3 or 5 or 10 of these ad sets. Doesn't matter to me. As many viable targeting options as you can have ad sets. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my empathy map and I'm going to take the first 2 ads that I created, not empathy map rather, but the hook discovery process. And after you did the hook discovery process and watched Lee's videos, you should have now in front of you a stack of ads. Might be 4, 8, 10 ads, doesn't matter. but you're going to take ad number 1 and ad number 2, and you're going to run it until you decide a winner. Now, you want to run it until it's statistically significant, which is probably a little hard for most of you who don't have a graduate education in statistics to determine. So I would say give it at least a couple of days, and at least the amount of budget that you normally see a few conversions. So if you have, $25 conversions usually, I might run it up to $100 to make sure I have an effective test. Okay, just use some common sense. You need to run it long enough to make sure your results are valid. I don't want to get into the scientific methodologies in this course for that. But if you're interested in learning how to do this like a real scientist, you should join HemanX, because we get into it. All right. But to any extent, you're going to run ad number 1 from your pile of ads against ad number 2 from your pile of ads. All right. And one of those two will perform better. Let's say it's ad number 2. So now I'm going to run ad copy number 2 in the next experiment versus ad copy number 3. As you can see, and then we'll keep on. And let's say the ad copy number 2 wins again. In the next experiment, I would run ad copy number 2 against ad copy number 4. All right, and now let's say ad copy 4 outperforms, so I would run ad copy number 4 against ad copy number 5. And as you can see, I'm just replacing the control. The only time that we don't have a control is in our first experiment where we're using 2 brand new ads. All right. So you can see what I'm doing here. This is not terribly complicated. So this is how we're going to go ahead and test these ads out, because we need to go through testing all of them that we created to make sure that we have the optimal ad. Also, this needs to happen for every ad set, because publications, this targeting group, these interests, might respond to a completely different ad than influencers, who might respond to a completely different ad from lookalikes. That's why we're testing this at the ad set level, all within one campaign. All right. So you guys are going to have some questions on this. Not a big deal. Just pop in and give us a shout, and we will ask. If you've not done so, you need to join the Modern Ad Buyers Facebook group. You can ask us all of your questions in there, and we will respond to you, especially if you come bringing material from the course and saying, I have a question about this specific part of the course. We're going to help you out for sure. Okay. So this is not that complicated. Don't freak out. It's easy to do. Let us know if you have any questions. And when you get to your winning ad, do pop in and show us your winning ad and tell us how it went, because we would love to celebrate with you. All right. Cheers, everybody. Have a good day. Best of luck to you. Congratulations. If you're watching this video, you've made it through the 7-day copy challenge. I'm super excited for you. I really hope that the workflows and tips and tricks that we showed you for prompting the AI help you revolutionize your business and take on more customers with less stress. And I hope that it really, really works out for you. It has been an amazing windfall for me personally. Without a doubt, I've been able to use it super effectively to do a variety of things that have upped my level and just increased my game. And I hope the same is true for you. Now, some of you will say, all right, that's interesting and cool, but at the end of the day, I still do not want to be a copywriter. I want to be a business owner, and I want to do whatever it is that you're good at other than marketing. And we understand that. We hope that you'll think of us in 2 ways. Number one, if you'd like to control your marketing team in-house and bring in media buyers who are world-class and well-trained to the nth degree, that know how to do all these things that we're showing you here, and have the ongoing support of myself and the other HemanX instructors, then I would love for you to check out Heman Staffing below. We're going to find you that media buyer. We're going to guarantee their performance and training, and we're going to insert them into your business, and we're going to get you running in the right direction very quickly. So that's Heman Staffing. If, on the other hand, you think, okay, well, look, even building out a team and managing media buyers is more than I would really like to do, then I would like to invite you to look at Heman Media, the agency. We do have a full stack, full service agency where it is done for you. We will take your product or service and we will do what we do as world-class conversion marketers. demand generation marketers, and we will grow and scale your business and help you find success on the agency side. So regardless of which one of those two categories you fit into, I would invite you to check out the links below and let us know if we can help you. And that's it. That's all we're going to do. It's not a hard pitch. It's a soft sell. If you don't want to, that's fine. I hope you learned a lot in the 7-Day Copy Challenge. But if you do, those links are below, and we invite you to set up a call and give us a call, and we'll chat about your future and how we can get you to where you want to go. All right. Cheers.